4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Hello, students. Welcome back to the class for the graphics by using C language. I hope you all have enjoyed yesterday class, right? I hope all of you have enjoyed yesterday's, and I'm gonna make it sure that for today you are going to enjoy even more than yesterday, right? We will be addressing the doubts as well, definitely. The doubts which we had yesterday, most of those doubts actually belongs to today's class content, so they are not required, they were not required to be answered separately. So if the students who have carried out with yesterday's class, if they are going to carry today's class, they will get most of your answers, right? You don't have to worry for that. So let me give a brief about the session which we have taken yesterday, right? So let's have it. Let's have a brief of it. All right. Fine. So definitely this is going to be the content with which we are going to work today. Today, basically, we are going to move on with basic two things, right? So one thing is going to be the sound, and another thing is what we are going to work today is the animation. Some people have asked me the question for the yesterday's class that was rectangular animation. Don't worry, we are going to cover it today, right? One student have also asked me the doubt that, sir, what about the sounds? Can we play sounds? So of course, dear, this is the base content for today's class, right? So definitely you can play sounds, right? Sounds, and not only sounds but different variety of sounds. Okay, so let's not to invest much time in explaining today's class content. We'll see afterwards. Let's directly come to the point that what we have discussed, what was the content we have discussed so far. Okay, first let's have a look at the content which we are going to cover today. So today definitely we are going to have a recap of previous class. Afterwards, we'll be understanding the frequency. Why to understand frequency, we will definitely come to know in today's class, right? Then understanding nature of sounds as per frequency. Okay, then we will be playing some continuous and discrete sounds. Afterwards, we'll be designing your own soundtrack and then enjoying some popular soundtracks which have been designed by some people, some great programmers. Okay, apart from that, we will also cover let me add a few things in this. We will also cover today the animation part. Okay, some few of the animation part we have covered already, but today we are going to cover more than that. Okay, today, after today's class, you will be able to move objects from here and there, from one place to another place. Okay, fine. So let's thumbs up for today's class. I hope you will like today's session, definitely. Okay, so let's directly start with the session. Let's have a recap of yesterday's class. What were the important points? Important point was, let's say if this is your C language screen, then this is actually divided into 640 pixels by 480 pixels, right? This is what we have. This was the base content, which you should always remember to do any graphical programming on the C language. Okay. What next? We have learned how to draw lines. What is x1? What is y1? What is x2? What is y2? We did it, right? Apart from that, we have learned the code to draw the lines. We have learned how to draw a circle, and we have also learned that how to use delay. Delay was also being used. Delay was the prime factor in yesterday's class, and it will carry on with today's class also, because it is quite more important with respect to sounds. It's very, very important with respect to sounds. You will be able to listen all the sounds just because of this delay. Okay, you will come to know in today's class. So let's hit today's class content. So first of all, we have why sound exists in this world. If you are a physics student, if you are a PCM student in your 10+2 profile, then you should have this answer: why sound exists in this world. Okay, so you can type in the comment box. Okay, so if you know this, please type in the comment box. So the reason why sounds exist in this world, that is vibration. Whenever two things or two frequencies are rugged together, then it produces some vibrations, and due to that vibration, sounds come into the existence, right? And just imagine that, let's say if this is one surface S1 and this is second surface S2. I already told you that if you are going to rub them together on each other, something like this, okay, so in that case, vibrations will be there. Why we have different varieties of sounds? The reason behind the variety of sound is frequency. Because if you are going to rub them really fast, then the generated sound will be a little bit different. But when you are going to rub them a little slow, then generated sound will be a little bit different, right? And you should not forget the fact that human ears are capable of listening only 20 hertz to 20,000 hertz. So if your frequency goes below to 20 hertz, then as a human we are not able to listen this. And if you are going to go above 20,000 hertz, definitely even in this case we cannot listen the sounds. Okay, so we have to make sure that whatever the sounds we are producing in our program, that should remain between 20 to 20,000. Not only 20 to 20,000, rather this is also the extreme range, right? Sound gets so sharp at this point that sometimes we are not able to listen to these kind of sounds. Okay, or not everybody can listen these kind of sounds. Your ears has to be very very sharp to listen the sound at such a high frequency. Okay, so when frequency is low, now this is like nature of sound which you should understand very very carefully. All right, so whenever frequency is low does mean 20 hertz, 40 hertz, 50 hertz, 100 hertz, or 200 hertz, right? So whenever frequency is low, your sound will be heavy and thick. Guys, don't forget, today's session is going to be the complete hands-on experience. So whatever I'll teach you, I'll not just teach you, rather I'll do the practicals just like yesterday. I'll do the practicals right there in front of you, and you can try those things just at your level on your PC, right? So whenever frequency is low, so the sound track which is going to be played will be heavy and thick, all right? And when frequency is high, then the sound track which will be played will be thin and sharp. Okay, these two are very important keywords. Frequency is low, sound will be heavy and thick. Remember these two things. Okay, whenever frequency is high, sound will be thin and sharp. Quite important facts for today's class. Okay, now next question comes that how to play these sounds, how to do this. Okay, so how to do this, let's try to understand. Basically inside C language dos.h, this is the header file which we have already used yesterday to embed delay. To embed delay in your program, you have actually used the dos.h header file, right? So the same header file we are going to use to produce sound. So there is a predefined function. Obviously, this s is a smaller one, small case s. Okay. So there's a predefined function called sound in which we have to pass a number. This number is definitely a integer. Okay. This number is definitely a integer. All right. So this predefined function sound is going to play the sound with this number by considering it as the frequency. And whatever sound should be played on that frequency, that will be played. Okay, so let me give a program. Let's directly hit a program. In spite of going round and round with theories, let's directly hit the program. Okay, so this is your first program to get on with the C sound. Okay, so there I have written three codes actually. This is the code with the frequency 50. So this sound will be thick and heavy. This is the code with the frequency 500. This sound will be thin and sharp as compared to this 50. And next I'll be producing a sound at frequency 5000. This will be even more thin and more sharp as compared to this 50 and 500. Okay, so let's directly have an example. Let's try this code. Let's have it. So just like yesterday, let me copy this code from here. We'll get it to the notepad, and from this notepad we are going to play this code right away in the C language. Okay, so we have, let's say we have sound demo dot C, clear, inside TC, inside pin. Let's play this code. Let's go to your C language screen, and let's have it sound demo. It should be there, you can see. Okay, it's a small code, you can check out. It's just a three-line code: void main sound 50 get ch. Rather, I would say that this void main and get ch is just a formality, right? Basically, this code is just a one-line code, and just look at the just you are going to listen to the output. Okay, so this time what we are going to do, we are not going to see the output, rather we are going to listen to the output. Okay, so let's listen it. Run. I hope all of you are able to listen a sound. This sound is basically, it's like some irritating mosquito is just creating a ridiculous noise around you. Right, so this is like sound 50. Okay, now I am going to, now what I'm doing, let me close this first. Let me close this first. Closed. All right, so now let me play a sound at frequency 500. So let's try this. What happens at frequency, or let's increase it a little bit. What happens at 100? Okay, so let's try with 100 frequency. What's going to happen? Just try to listen to the sound and try to remark a difference between the sound played on the frequency 50 and now on the frequency 100. I hope you could definitely observe that what is the difference in the sound. The sound which we played at frequency 100, it was a little different as compared to the sound which we have played just now on the frequency 100, right? Previously we have played it on 50 actually, and now it is 100. Now let's try it on 500. What happens? I know we have to go through with some irritating noises, but this is what a programmer is all about. Programmer is there to convert the normal irritations of programming into the fruitful music. So being a programmer, we have to go through with this, right? So let me play the sound at 500 frequency. Try this. again, I hope you were able to connect with the difference in the sounds, right? You are able to connect with the fact that on the lower frequencies the sound is thick and heavy, and on the higher frequencies sound is quite thin and sharp. Let's try with 1000. So everybody must have noticed the difference, all right? So the objective of these four programs is just to make you, is just to present in front of you that how this fact is working. That however, like whenever sound is with lower frequency, it will be thin. Sorry, it will be thick and it will be heavy, and whenever it is on the higher frequencies then sound will be thin and sharp. I hope this is quite clear to you. Okay, fine. So what we can do, being a beginner, what we can do, is it just fine to have these irritating noises? Of course not. Nobody is going to love your game or nobody is going to love your project if you are going to have just these kind of irritating noises. This is certainly not possible, all right? But what we are going to do, we can combine some frequencies, right? We can combine some frequencies, and on the combination of these frequencies we can go ahead, we can go ahead. All right, so let's find out on the combination of these frequencies. Probably, let's have a let me tell you this thing. A sound track is all about hit and trial, right? Whenever you will play the sound, then only you will come to know that what is the exact music you are going to have as the outcome. So we have seen how the sound have been played on this 50. We have seen what about 500, we have seen about 5000, 1000, blah 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 stuffs. Okay, now it's time to create a music. Okay, how to create a music? Probably a useful sound, probably a non-useful sound, we will come to know when we will listen to this. Okay, we can find out that wherever can we use it somewhere in your game. All right, so what we have, a music is nothing but just a combination of multiple sounds, and multiple sound does mean the sound produced at different frequencies. All right. So what we can try something. How that code should be. Probably if I start with writing a sound function, just leave this for now. Look at the pen, what I'm showing you here. Suppose initially I want to play a sound with 50, then I would like to play a sound with let's say let's say 100, or probably 70, 60, or whatever. Okay, next we are going to play it with 150. So let's say if we are approaching till 5000, so if we go like this, then probably there can be a combination of good sounds, right? Probably there can be a music. Okay, so sound 50 will be a thick and heavy, again thick and heavy, again thick and heavy. Slowly we'll be approaching towards thin and sharp sound. All right, so let me try once. Can we try this now? Is it possible for you to write these many sound functions together? Of course not. You cannot run a software industry or a gaming industry for writing code like this. This is certainly impossible. Otherwise, a lot of programmers will be required in a software company who will be just writing this sound 50, sound 50, sound 50. All right. So obviously we are going to use the loop over here. So what I did, see, we just have to pass an integer, right? That integer can be a constant or a variable, can also be there. Okay. So I took an I, started with 50, approaching till 5000. Every time I'm increasing this I by 1. So when first iteration will be there, so sound 50 will be played. Okay, and you know the effect of this delay. These sounds will be played very fast, very fast. Like you may take several seconds to listen these many sounds, but Computer will not even take 1 second to play these 5,000 different frequencies sound, because it is working with the speed of nanoseconds. So as you already know, you have seen the yesterday's class. If you have seen the yesterday's class, they already know the use of delay. The people who are new, let me tell them that this is just to slow down the speed of computer. All right, and what is this? This 20 is nothing but 20 milliseconds. All right, so how things will be there? Sound 50 will be played, then compiler will give you a chance to listen that sound by taking a delay of 20 milliseconds. Next time I plus plus is there, so 51. So sound 51 will be played, and then again compiler is going to give you the chance, because of this delay of 20 milliseconds, to listen that sound. And next time 52, 53, until 5000, or you can say 4999, this complete thing will keep on running. Okay, so let's try this code. Let's have let's have this code with us, and let's run it. We already have a dedicated sound file, so we are not going to have a new file with us. We are just going to save our code in the previous file only, because you have already seen that how those codes are working. All right, so next to this, let's save it once more. Okay, so automatically that sound demo thing will be changed. All right, so let's have it. You can see this code has been changed. Okay, so now I'm going to play this sound here, and you will see a noticeable sound over there. You can clearly observe that sounds are getting thick and sharp. They have started like they have started with thick and heavy sounds, and they are turning as the frequency is increasing. They are turning towards thin and sharp sound. It was a little bit lengthy code, so I have to get it down manually. Let me, otherwise you will not be able to do the things. Just wait. Fine. So I hope everybody of you could judge the difference in sound, the difference in frequency. All right. So this was the basics of sound. That whenever you are playing sound with a lower frequency, it's going to be heavy, and sound with a higher frequency, it's going to be thin. Okay. Now let's have few more experiments, and let's come to know few more about the sounds. Okay. How and when you can do the experiments with the sounds. Okay, so let's have them with you. Let's try a new code. First, let me tell you the function of this no sound. You remember while I was writing that two-line code with different frequencies of sound, every time I was using no sound. Why I was using it? Because what will happen after coming out of loop, when it will come out of loop and it will come to this place, this sound, whatever the last sound have been played, like in our case, that last sound which was played was delay. 5,000. That will keep on playing if I'll not stop this sound. So by using this no sound, what will happen? It will stop the last sound. All right. So we can change this frequency. So let's directly switch to the C screen and then directly do different experiments over there. Let's directly switch to this. First, let me control it a little bit. Let's not to take it to 1000. Okay. In fact, let's not to take it to 5,000. It was too long. Okay. So delay, we can reduce this delay as well. We can keep it to 5 or we can keep it to like 10 or whatever. Okay. So let's play this once and let's find out. Now, why this sound is there? Because I have not used no sound. So now let's use no sound. Now see the difference. Now we will rectify this code and we will see the difference that after playing the sound from 10 to 1000 or 5 to 1000, whatever is the range, it will finally stop. Check out this. Stopped. It started from 50, went to 1000 and stopped, right? Let's do few more experiments with sounds. Let's try to change the frequency. Right now I'm increasing it by 1, but let's increase it by 10 actually. Sounds are all about this kind of experiment. Okay, so let's increase it by 10 and let's judge the difference. This is what the sound which was produced over there. Not only this, you can also increase this delay and then also sound will be different, which will be getting produced. Okay, let's find out this. Let's it's 100 will be too much actually. It will take a lot of time to run. Check out this. Right, keep noticing the differences. It's not only like this, you can also play the discrete sounds. Actually, this was the next topic in our slides what we have. Okay, we have discrete sounds also. How to play discrete sounds? Discrete sounds are something like this. The gap which you have given after the sound, you should also give that gap after the no sound. For example, if I give a gap over there also, suppose let's keep it to 500. Let's keep this also not no sound. No sound will be used directly, and a delay will be used after this no sound, and that delay will be of 500. Okay, and let's keep this to 500 as well, and let's increase the frequency a little bit more. So otherwise we'll be trapped in lot of iterations. Okay, so let's find out. I've saved this code and now I will execute. You can see the difference, right? Obviously you can use this sound. If you listen this sound carefully, you can easily use this sound to somewhere you are opening the door. All right, if you don't keep it to 500 or if you don't keep it to 1000 up, if you keep it at a little bit low range, then definitely this sound can be converted into a sound which is like somebody's coming from a door, a shoe knocking sound, somewhat like this. All right. So these are the different experiments which you can do over sounds. Okay. Sound, let me tell you one thing, sound is all about hit and trial. You have to do your own experiments, you have to find out that which kind of game you are going to produce, and similarly which kind of sound you are going to produce by doing hit and trial. Okay, now as if now let me try one another code, that how it will be played. Let's try this code. We have seen the code in which frequency was increasing. Okay, now let's try a code in which frequency is decreasing. Okay, so let's see a code in which frequency is getting decreased. This is the code in which we are playing both sounds together, increasing with frequency and decreasing with frequency. Okay, so let's try this soundtrack, how it is being played. Let's go to the notepad file. Let's copy this one and rest of the part. All right, let's give it a name. Suppose we give it as S1 dot C. Okay, fine. So let's have it. Let's open S1. All right, let's find out what kind of sound is going to be there. A bit different from the previous one. It was an entirely different sound. Okay, fine. So this was all about the experiments which you can do with sounds. Okay, next, what else we can see in the sound part? Basically, I have actually taken few good sounds for you. All right, so let me give you few sounds. You can use these sounds somewhere in your games. Let's play this code. It's a huge code. Obviously you are not able to understand this right now. You have to do a lot of experiments with yourself to produce this kind of code as I have done it. Okay, so let's start with this. So as everybody knows, this is the famous Airtel ringtone. All right. Apart from this, I have another code for you, which you can listen as if now. Let me give you that. Another famous sound produced by C language, which gives the proof that if you work hard, you can produce very good sounds by yourself. Okay. Check out this. Again, it's a famous code. the code which was developed by Mario team to produce sounds. All right. So that was all about for this class with respect to sounds. Sounds are really interesting, and obviously you have to do a lot of experiments. You have to do it on your own. Until unless you will not do by yourself, you'll not able to get anything, right? So after sounds, now we are going to learn something new. The things which is the third part of gaming. This third part of gaming is nothing but the animation. Okay, so let's get over with the sounds and let's move on to the animation part. Yesterday, the animation what we have done, it was not enough to produce games. Obviously, to produce games, you cannot animate only circles. And actually, if you see very, very carefully, then yesterday we have not done any of the animation. Rather, we have just played with the size of circle, which was giving the feel of animation. All right, but today we will actually learn that how to move the animation or how to animate the objects. Somebody have asked me the question with respect to this also. Somebody have asked me the question that, sir, what about having rectangular animation? Okay, so if you want to animate few things, few objects in a rectangular way, how to do this thing, how to do it. So I'm going to answer your question today. I also told you yesterday that yes, in today's class, I'll be covering this question. Okay, so dude, this is the time for you, time for your answer. Okay, check out whatever people want to know. Let me tell you, animation is nothing but just an illusion. I already told you that whenever you see people playing game, so actually everything is static. The the chair, the table, the laptop, the mobile, anything on which you are playing game, so that is actually static only. But what is moving? Movement is there inside the screen, so there is no physical movement, so it's just an illusion to you that something is getting moved. All right, let's start with moving a line. Can you see this? Check out this. I'm going to move this line. Is it moving or not? I can move it backward also. Check out. I can move it forward again. I can move it backward again. How this is happening? Let me tell you what is there inside. How I have created this kind of illusion. So let me switch off the slideshow and then you will come to. Do you really know what is there inside? Just check out. If you watch this line, this is nothing but multiple lines placed together. Check out. Can you see this? Okay, now what happens? This is a line with the smaller part. Okay, this is a line with the smallest size. Now, what I do when I keep this line above this line, what happens? The line which is till this point, the line which is till this point, certainly this is not visible. This is not visible. But what happens? The line after this part, this is the only visible thing. All right, check out this, how it is happening. Something like this. Only rest of the part is visible. All right. Now, if I keep this over this, rest of the part is visible. Okay. If I keep this one over this, rest of the part is visible. So at the end of the time, if I do it very fast, if I do this stuff really, really fast, then you will have an illusion that this line is actually growing. This is increasing. But what is the source behind it? There is no increment in the line. It's just we are drawing multiple lines together with the same source. Check carefully. All these lines are being drawn with the same source and with the different destinations, right? So that's what I said. It is all about this. Okay. So let's have a code. What to do with this? Let's understand this code. There is the code for this animation. Check out this. I told you one thing, that you have to draw these lines with the same source. All right, that source has to be same. The only difference comes in the destination. So one line is drawn from this point to this point. So one line is drawn from this point to this point. Next line will be drawn. Just a second, please. Where it is stuck. Just a second, please. So what is there inside this? As I told you, that multiple lines have been drawn with the same source but with different destinations. All right, this is the code. Now let's understand this code. What is there inside this code? Check out. I've got 50 going till 500, going up to increasing every time by 5. Okay, so line is being drawn at every line is being drawn at 50-50. That means, let's say if this is your screen, this is what the 50-50 point. Imagine. So every line will be drawn with the source point 50-50. X, like x1 y1. Now x2 will be 50 only. All right, and y2 will be I. So what's going to happen? X2 will be 50. That means the distance from left hand side of the second point will be 50 only. But what will be y2? Y2 will be I plus 5. That means whatever the previous one, on that 5 will be increased. So that means what was I? 50. So first time 50 50 50 50. So only a point will be drawn. Next time 50 50, which is source. Next is 50 and 55. So this line will be drawn something like this. Next time 60. Next time 65. Next time 70, something like this. So line will keep on increasing. If you want to draw a horizontal line, then what you have to change? You have to keep this one as it is, and you just have to change this one. Okay, so let's have an experiment on this. Let's directly do this experiment. Okay, let's find out. Let's have this code. got a notepad? Let's paste it. All right. So let's save it. Suppose line E. Okay. Dot C. There your code is. Now let's go to this. So we have line demo or line E, whatever you want you can use. Okay. So what is happening? This line is being drawn at 50-50. This is 50 and y2 is increasing. All right. Check out this line. There's some error. Declaration syntax. Actually, this V is not supposed to be capital. This is supposed to be small. That's what the only problem it had. What is happening inside this? Wait, let me take another code. The same code only. It will just be the error-free code. There we have Gmod. You can check out. This is the same code we have. Okay, we are just going to change it. Wait. Let's execute this one. It is. And let me change. Let me write the same code over there. So we have got int I with us. Now after this, what we are doing, for I equals to 0, I less than equals to, let's say, 300, and every time I is getting increased by 5. All right. And there is just one line which is required to be there inside the loop. 50-50 is the source. All right. And what we did, if you really want to increase this line in the horizontal part, you have to keep till I on the x2 part, and y2 will be stayed with 50 only. Okay. What next? Just close it and let's find out. Okay. Let's execute the code. A line is there, a lot of lines are there, but why you are not able to see this? Remember, because you have not used the delay. So now we are going to use delay. Why I have written this code? Because you can understand the importance of delay, how important it is. All right. Toss.h, and now I will be using a delay over there. Delay 50. Now we are going to execute this code. It is there, right? I hope you can see this increasing. Okay, let's keep it to 500. So there will be a longer line which will keep on increasing its size. Right. So this is how to go for the rectangular animation. You can keep two lines with the same source, but from different destinations. So this time I'll keep this at 50 and I'll increase the y1, sorry, y2. So now what will happen? There will be a vertical line as well. Check out. There it is increasing. All right, but that y has to be less than 500. Why it cannot be 500? because the total margin is 480 only. Don't forget, right? Total margin is 480 only. So let's keep it to 400 actually, because we have started with 50, right? So this is I is starting with 0. Let's start it with 50 as well. And now let's execute this. Check out, right? So this is how things can be animated. Okay. Not only this does not happen only with line. In fact, you can also animate lot of other things as well. How you can animate other things? You can animate a circle, you can animate a line, you can animate a circle, you can animate any other thing, right? So it's not necessary to have slides on this. Okay, let me directly give you the code that how to do that. Let's have it. In the same program, I'm gonna make some changes. Okay, in spite of drawing lines, let's draw a circle this time. Where you want to draw, where you want to draw, suppose vertically in the middle, so that's what 320. Okay, horizontally you want to start drawing it from the 100. Okay, and you want to keep its radius to be, let's say, 20. Okay, so one circle can be drawn on this place. Okay, what next you want to do? You want to increase the horizontal coordinate of the circle. So next time when you want to draw a circle, where you want to draw, you want to keep it vertically at the same place but horizontally at a different place, which should be 100. In spite of 100, it should be 105. Okay, so next time it should be 105, next time it should be 110. So let's start I with 100 and let's move I till 400 and let's increase. See what is there. Every time you are keeping radius at 20, so at least you have to increase the length by 20, then only circles will not be overlapped. Okay, otherwise circles will be overlapped over each other. Okay, so first circle will be drawn where 100 matlab 320 100. Okay, and let's keep it to I. Now what will happen? Where the first circle will be drawn? First circle will be drawn at 320, 320 from the x coordinate. All right, and next is y. So where the y will be? Y will be 100 only. Okay, in fact you want to keep it vertically at the same place, so let's keep it to 240. All right, so vertically at the same place, horizontally first at the 100 position. So 240, 100 is the first position. Circle size will be 20. Next time you want to draw it at 240 and 120. So this will be the next circle and this will go till 400. All right, let's find out what kind of output you will get. Okay, so what is happening? The vertical part is getting increased. So every time your circle is vertically down, if you don't want to keep it like this, if you want to keep it in the horizontal part, then what you have to do, just place this thing in the horizontal part and keep it static. So for example, if I keep it to 240, now what will happen? Something like this. Okay, if you don't want to overlap them, you can increase the gap 40. Now if you run it, there it is. Okay, fine. So this is what all about the animation. Next, what we would like to do, suppose we want to blink it. Okay, how blinking is being done? Just focus on one thing, that just a second please. This has to be 10 and difference will be 20. See, the circle which you are placing next, that should be a bit far from the previous one. Okay, see this. All right, because how it is happening? Because 10 is the radius. So check out carefully. 10 is the radius part. Okay, so radius of one circle and radius of another circle becomes the diameter. All right, check this carefully. 10 is the radius of first circle. 10 is also the radius of second circle. So 10 plus 10, 20. So there has to be a gap of 20 pixels within the drawing of two different circles. You can slow it down. How can you slow it down? Just increase the delay. If you want to slow it down, you can keep it to 500. So now what will happen? Every half second, a next circle will be drawn. Check out. All right. Now there's one more thing. What is happening over there? Lot of circles have been drawn, but circle is not giving a feel of movement. Circle is not moving. What I want to do, I want to move this circle. So what should happen? The previous circle should not be visible. All right. Let me tell you one thing. Suppose let's come to our PPT part, and there I will show you that how to move the circle. What is happening here on the screen? Is there some problem in the visibility? Because what I can see here, it is not good. Just a second, please. Let me connect to the team. Fine. So let's begin with the C language screen directly. I'll show you something really interesting. I hope everybody is like can listen to me. Of course, yes. Fine. So I'll show you something. How? What is the background of animation? How to do animation? Let's try that. Suppose if I've drawn a circle, can you see this? Of course, you can see this. Why you can see this? Because the background we have is of white color, and the foreground you have is of red color. There's a color difference. That's what the reason why you can see this. Okay. But if I go to my pen, if I take a ink of white color, and now when I draw the circle, can you see this? No, of course not. Why you cannot see this? You can see this. This is my point. If I draw a white line over there, you can see this. That drawing is there. Okay. But can you really see the line which I'm drawing here? No. Why you cannot draw it? Why you cannot see it? Because it is mixed up in the background. Okay. Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
Sir, you can hard stop the session next 5 minutes. Sir, please start asking the questions, and because the session is only for 1 hour, sir.
Okay,
That
fine.
is the reason.
Fine,
Yeah.
fine, fine. Give me just five. I'll just carry on session for 5 minutes. Then I'll ask the questions. I've started a topic actually.
We'll hard stop by 7:10, sir. We'll hard stop it.
Okay, okay, okay.
All right. Thank you.
So let me tell you how you can do this. You just have to mix the foreground with the background. Okay. So if you mix it, foreground with the background, definitely you can do the things. Okay. How to do this? Let's directly come to the code. So there is a circle with the white color. All right. Now parallel to this, after this delay, if I change the color to the black, again this is a predefined function, and then I draw another circle with the same parameters. Okay. I 240 and 10. All right. And then I got a delay of, let's say, 50. Let's keep both the delays to 50. All right. Then what I will have, this time I will be able to animate this circle. This is last point we are understanding today for the animation part. Okay. So we have got I 240 and 10. At last, what I will be doing, I will be changing this color to white. Plus, when you are drawing this initially, you should also change this color to white. Now you can see this animation right up on your screen. Can you see this? The circle is moving. All right. You can increase it as well. If I keep it to, let's say, 600. So this will move till 600. Check out this. If you don't want to blink it, then stop the delay after keeping it black. Then it will not blink. It will simply move. Something like this. You can change the speed as well. Okay. So if you keep this delay at 500, then it will decrease the speed. Something like this. All right. So this is what rectangular animation, in any of the direction you can move it, either the upwards or the downwards or the left or the right or any of the place. Right. This is all we have done with the class. Okay. So now you all are most welcome for the doubts. So if anybody is having any kind of doubt, please ask in your comment. You can ask your doubts in the comments. Rohan Degoria, there also to calculate the circle radius of circle. I don't really understand what you want to ask. Like calculate the radius does mean what? Please specify what you want to ask by saying this. Calculate the radius. Please again write in your comment that what you want to ask. I'm not able to understand what do you mean by calculating the radius. Guys, I'm looking for your doubts. Master Science, can you please ask your question once again? I cannot see your question. What do you want to ask? If you want to download the things and all, for that link has already been given in the comments by the student management team. If there is any question regarding the session, please ask me. Rohan Digoria, the waiting about, it's like what is the way to draw, to calculate the radius? It's just like you have to calculate it manually. You have to calculate manually. Your question is not clear, Rohan, actually. What do you want to ask? Okay, basically you are asking during the rectangular drawing. See, Rohan, it's quite easy. It's very simple. See, what happens? Your radius was 10, right? And you want to draw two circles together with each other. Okay. So what happens? What happens? Basically, 10 and 10. If you draw the radius 10 and 10, what's going to happen? Two circles will be drawn just adjacent to each other. Now 10 and 10 becomes 20, but don't forget radius is just the half part. It's not the full part. Radius is the half part. All right. So you have to carry the gap of double than radius. Otherwise circles will be overlapped, because circle is not with respect to radius only, it is with respect to diameter also. Okay. So if half of the circle is getting overlapped with the previous radius, then you have to double the distance. So that's what it is. Master Science. There, for downloading things and all these things, you have to connect with the. You please uh, keep on asking these things, and please check out. Somebody from the Great Learning has already given you the application link. Check out. You can see it. glacad.me, something like this. Rohan, can I answer you in Hindi? Please type. If you are much comfortable with Hindi, then please type, sir, please answer in Hindi. प्रोबेबली आप आसानी से समझ पाएंगे हिंदी में. लेट मी ट्राई इन हिंदी फॉर रोहन. रोहन, बेसिकली क्या है, अगर आप दो सर्कल्स बिल्कुल बाजू बाजू ड्रॉ करोगे तो क्या होगा कि एक की रेडियस 10 है और दूसरे की रेडियस 10 है. अब 10 और 10 सर्कल के रेडियस जो हैं वो अगर बाजू बाजू ड्रॉ करोगे और 10 के डिस्टेंस, सुनो सुनो, इट्स नॉट अबाउट राइटिंग, मैं बोल रहा हूँ, आप सुनिए, मैं आपका डाउट आंसर कर रहा हूँ. चेक इट केयरफुली. अगर आप 10 और 10 के दो सर्कल बराबर बराबर से ड्रॉ करेंगे तो क्या होगा, इसके अंदर व्हाट विल हैपन कि दोनों एक दूसरे के ऊपर ओवरलैप कर जाएंगे, क्योंकि सर्कल की रेडियस 10 है, ठीक है, और 10 का ही डिस्टेंस होगा. तो 10 और 10, भाई एक सर्कल और दूसरा सर्कल बराबर बराबर से डिस्टेंस कितना चाहिए, 10 प्लस 10 20 हो गया ना. तो अगर आप चाहते हैं कि दोनों सर्कल एक दूसरे के ऊपर ओवरलैप ना करें, तो दोनों के बीच में डिस्टेंस कितना होना चाहिए, एटलीस्ट 20 का, सो दैट पहले वाले की रेडियस और दूसरे वाले की रेडियस दोनों एक दूसरे से दूर हो सके. सो दैट्स व्हाट द आंसर, ये आंसर है आपका. आई होप अभी आपको समझ में आया होगा. Anybody else? The people who like the session, they can also write in their comments. We have some more questions with us. Harsha Priya have asked, sir, can we give multiple sounds? Of course, dear. In fact, in our program only I have given. You could see that there was a sound with frequency increasing, and there was a sound with frequency getting decreased. So that was the time you can play multiple sounds, and you can keep so many sounds. Whatever the number of multiple sounds you want, you can carry. नॉइस थोड़ी सी, हाँ, थोड़ा सा लाउड है वो, रखना पड़ता है, बिकॉज सबको सुनाई दे पाए. प्रोबेबली कोई दूर होता है, कोई भीड़ में होता है, तो दैट्स व्हाई नॉइस हैज टू बी लाउड. स्टॉप इट सर. इट्स टू लेट टू रीड हियर. आई एम रियली सॉरी कि मैं उस वक्त आपका क्वेश्चन नहीं पढ़ पाया. Harsha Priya, of course, you can keep it like this. 50, 100, any number of frequencies you can use. In fact, loop, we were doing that only inside the loop, nothing else. We were doing that only. Inside the loop, we were doing the same thing. In fact, you have written only 4 frequencies. We have drawn so many frequencies. Yes, Yogesh Vyas. Yes, that's what the problem. Code blocks में graphics .h work नहीं करता है, बल्कि code blocks is not a good compiler. You should avoid using it. So many wrong outputs also used to come in that one. For increment decrement also, a lot of wrong outputs used to come. People have lost so many marks in gate just because of code blocks. They ran their program in code blocks and it shown some wrong outputs. Anybody else? I'm looking for more doubts. If you have few doubts, Shwetang Mishra, please continue the session, sir. Dear, I'm really sorry. Actually, this session was planned for 1 hour only, so I'm not able to carry on session more than that. But you can contact the student management team with great learning. If you are interested in doing these things, we can carry on further. That's not going to be the problem. Can you repeat, please, sir? रोहन बेटा आपको क्या चीज रिपीट करानी है मैं समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ मैं आपके डाउट को एक बार फिर से रिपीट कर देता हूँ जब आप दो सर्कल बराबर बराबर से ड्रॉ करते हैं एंड दोज टू सर्कल्स जिनमें की रेडियस 10 है तो एक 10 रेडियस का सर्कल और एक और 10 रेडियस का सर्कल जब बराबर बराबर चलेगा तो क्या होगा कि अगर दोनों दोनों के बीच में गैप कितना चाहिए होगा भाई एक की 10 प्लस दूसरे की 10 तो कम से कम 20 पिक्सल तो गैप देना पड़ेगा ना आपको 20 पिक्सल गैप देंगे 20 पिक्सल गैप देंगे तभी तो दोनों एक दूसरे से कोइंसाइड नहीं करेंगे लेकिन अगर आप 20 पिक्सल का गैप दोगे ही नहीं तो दोनों की रेडियस मिला के हो गई 20 पिक्सल और गैप आपने दिया है 20 से कम तो क्या होगा एक सर्कल दूसरे के ऊपर ड्रॉ हो जाएगा उससे बचने के लिए हम ऐसा करते हैं आई होप आपको समझ आया होगा ये रोहन अब जो मैंने बोला anybody else who is having any kind of question you can ask Master Science. Sir, please give me the download link. There, you don't have to plead so much. To be very honest, just wait. Probably the Great Learning Student Management team must have given this, or if they might have not given this, they will definitely give it. Although I can see this, they have given so many download links. You can check out with that. You can check out with that. That's not going to be a problem. Dear Rohan Digoria, I can't understand the drawing of circle. This I've covered already yesterday. It's just three things: center, x, y, and the radius, nothing else. Anybody else who want to clear more doubts about the rectangular? डियर, जो मैंने आपको मूवमेंट दिखाया हॉरिजॉन्टल लाइन के ऊपर और वर्टिकल लाइन के ऊपर, तो रेक्टेंगल इज ऑल अबाउट कंबाइनिंग टू मूवमेंट्स। आप हॉरिजॉन्टल मूवमेंट को और वर्टिकल मूवमेंट को कंबाइन करके अगर मूव करोगे सर्कल को, तो डेफिनेटली वो अपने आप मूव होगा। लेंथ में कुछ कैलकुलेट नहीं करना है, लेंथ इज ऑल अपॉन यू। आप चाहें उसको जितना भी लंबा कर सकते हैं, लेंथ में यू डोंट हैव टू कैलकुलेट एनीथिंग, इट्स ऑल अपॉन यू। लेंथ ब्रेथ एक ही बात है डियर, आप कितना भी लंबा उसको कर सकते हैं, दैट्स नॉट गोइंग टू बी अ प्रॉब्लम। आपको केवल पिक्सल्स पता होने चाहिए। Rohan, dear, your question is not clear. Yesterday, the half of normal length. What do you want to ask? The maximum range, I already told you, 640 and 480. सी स्क्रीन का जो लेंथ है मैक्सिमम, दैट इज 640, एंड जो नीचे रेंज है वर्टिकल वो है 480। वही रेंज है, उसमें कैलकुलेट कुछ नहीं करना है। आप देखिए कि आप स्क्रीन पे कहाँ तक मूव करना चाहते हैं उसको। यस, 640 480, प्लीज लिसन टू दिस, 640 480, 640 in the horizontal range, 480 in the vertical range. 320 240 is the center there, it's the center। तो उसमें कैलकुलेट करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है, जस्ट हाफ कर दीजिए। 640 का हाफ है 320 और 480 का हाफ है 240। दैट्स द ओनली थिंग। Yes, we have done half to get to the center. Yes, of course you can apply. No issues with that. Any number of sounds can be applied.